All right, welcome to my home. Let's take the nickel tour. Hi, my name's Jim and welcome to my home. It was built by Meadowlark, and I gotta tell you, they are wonderful to work with. This is my garage. The garage is a little bit bigger than a standard garage. It's 26 feet wide and 34 feet deep. I watched Amish Construction put this garage up. It took them a day to restack it, and then another 2 days to get the roof on, except for the metal, and then one more day on the metal. So it goes up really quick once it's built. All this is the top slabs off of private milling operations, and I was able to get a bunch of that, ripped it all down to size, hand scraped it all. And again, all my storage is purpose built for the stuff that I have. And of course I have all the storage on top too. It adds quite a bit for some of the bigger stuff. A lot of the stuff I didn't want to just put screws in the log to hang stuff, so I ended up drilling and putting dowels in to hang all my shovels and yard stuff in there. Right up here in northwest Montana, during the winter, we dream of summer, and during the summer, we get ready for winter. And this is what this area is for. This is next year's firewood. This year's firewood is already split and bucked up and stacked, and now it's on the deck. And that was done last year. My next job is splitting all this, stacking it behind the garage, let that sit for a year in season. And then early next spring, I'll get another load of wood and we'll do the rotation. Okay, so this is my house. It started out as a Meadowlark rancher, and I wanted a loft. What's a log house without a loft? So working with LV, we changed the pitch of the roof from a 5 and 12 to a 10 and 12, added the loft on at the end, or the dormer on the end, and we're able to add the loft. The house started off at 1,176 square feet. And then once I added all the lofts and the basement, I'm up to 2365, which is a downsize from my last house. Mine was 24, so I downsized by 35 square feet. Real convenient. We also added this porch on. This isn't on the Meadowlark Rancher, just the other porch is. This is really nice because I could do a whole year's worth of firewood on here. It keeps it out of the weather and out of the way, and it's real convenient to get to. I terraced this embankment, and the idea was because I want to put a garden in. So the garden's going to be about 80 feet long and 12 feet wide, and I enjoy my own vegetables. They taste better for you, and there's something satisfying about growing your own food. Well, I'm a retired law enforcement officer out of California, and I could see the writing on the wall. My politics never lined up with the current administration. And my last 4 years working, every vacation, I was going through Bonners County looking for a place to build when I retire. My last trip, met with a couple buddies that I work with and their families in Whitebird, Idaho, which is the southern part. We looked around there for a few days and we split up for a week. And I got a call. I said, hey, let's meet in this little town called Libby. We'll have sandwiches in the park and then go down through Kalispell and drop into Missoula and take a look at that side of the state. So a bologna sandwich in the park brought me to Libby. So this is my entry. I wanted something when I'm not here, the dogs don't get the run of the house, so I put bat wing doors in low, and this is kind of their area when I'm out playing. So this is living room, kitchen area. This house is a one-off from the Meadowlark Rancher. I wanted a loft, so we changed the pitch of the roof, and then I added a couple more lofts in the house because I don't like dead space. I designed the kitchen for one person, so if I'm cooking, I don't like anybody else in the kitchen, and if someone else is cooking and they want help, I say, sorry, it's designed for one person. The upper countertops are black oak that I milled out of Nevada County, California. A buddy of mine had a mill, and I hauled these up here with me. And other than that, it's a standard kitchen. So in this part of the living room, I did a built-in bar. I enjoy brewing beer. I give most of it away. I like the old process, so I do all grains. And I built a kegerator that's in the basement. It all gets piped up to my towers up here. All right, this is the master suite. It takes up just under 1/3 of the main floor of the house. Initially, this wall on the plans was a solid log wall, but designing with Elvie, we put in log trusses instead of a log wall. And that gave me more room to play with, and it's a lot easier for me to run my own electrical. It was fun trying to get the slip joints on the walls to work because logs shrink, but the stick built doesn't. Above the master bathroom and closet, I put a library. So I have another loft with a ship's ladder going up. Under the first landing, I have a closet. So everything that's log, Meadowlark built. And the upper ceiling, they did what's called drying me in. So they did all the logs, the windows, the doors, the roof, and the upper ceiling. Everything else I did. I mentioned earlier that I did the slip joint according to Meadowlark's website. This one I had to do backwards because my cabinets go underneath it, and if I did it the way on the website, as the log shrunk, it would have pushed my cabinets off the wall. So it was fun trying to figure stuff like that out. Did all the mechanical systems, the electrical, the plumbing, and those are the systems that either they work or they don't. So it's kind of hard to do them wrong. The original loft was this section going this direction. I wanted to drop ceiling over the kitchen, so I added this loft in. I had Amish Construction drop the 2 log beams in, and then I actually had to build that in the air because it's too heavy for me to build it on the ground and try to slide it up. So this is a parlor stove that I bought from a buddy of mine. He had it rattle can baby blue, which just didn't work for me. So I stripped the whole thing down and redid it, and I brought that up with me. The fireplace was fun to do. That's 9 days of cutting stone, and every piece is cut, and it was kind of like cutting a jigsaw puzzle, so keep my grout lines down as far as I could. This little stove, last year it reached negative 27 degrees. That little stove kept my house at 70 or above the entire time. And come on upstairs. So this is the loft that Meadowlark built, and this is where I lived when I was doing the inside of the rest of the house. And right now, this is where my guests get to stay. So it's a very, very comfortable space. Even though it's open to the living room, it seems private because you can't really see into it. I have a second bathroom upstairs, and this one's a full bath. I don't use bathtubs, but I have grandkids, and I can't keep them out of it. This is part of the loft that I added on, and I call this my grandkids area. They're still pretty young, they don't need as much privacy, so I have a couple twin beds up here, and this is where I dress my people. This kind of gives you, from downstairs, it doesn't look as big. You stand up here looking down and you can really see, the height of the structure, and it looks a lot more grand up here than it does from downstairs. So this is my back porch, and I spend most of my evenings out here. I have a beautiful view. And initially this is designed as the front of the house, but all the windows are here and I wanted the windows facing the view. So I turned the house around 180 degrees. So this is just a beautiful place to spend my evenings. I did have can lights in out here, which I took out and ended up putting the ceiling fans in, which they still have a light, but during the summer it makes it much more comfortable. From this deck to get to the basement, we go around and then down the steps on the outside. I initially wanted stairs inside the house, but I couldn't find a spot that would allow me to have traditional stairs with the right headspace. I needed about 11 feet of headspace for stairs that are code, and it would just take too much of the living room. This is the basement. The basement is half the footprint of the house. The other half on that side is crawl space where forced air heater is and all the plumbing. And I do a lot of shooting. I shoot trap and skeet and cowboy action shoots, and I reload all my own stuff. So that's what this side is dedicated for. I have my gym. I have found that this will hold 38 shirts if they're on hangers. So now I use it occasionally, but not enough. Got meat storage, and above it, this is all different grains that I use, the malted barleys and grains for brewing beer. All my brewing equipment I store on this side. When I built this down here, it was purpose built for the size of the equipment I have and to get as much storage out of it as I can. And I have a small garage at this end of the basement, my motorcycle bedroom. and it's just big enough to get my 2 bikes in here.
I'm Jalen with Meadowlark Log Homes, and today we're going to be starting a series on assembling a log cabin. We're going to go over the log wall assembly, the roof structure, windows and door install, railing, staining, chinking, interior frame walls, as well as finishing details, trimming, things like that. It's a good resource for being able to actually build your own cabin. Through our website, meadowlarklogcabins.com, we have a couple different models with some different sizes. These are standardized cabin kits, so they're standard floor plans. We build them, to order. At the time of launch, we're going to be offering log package, railing, and the roof package, which is like the framing for the actual roof dry-in. And down the road, we may add more features to what we offer it to buy, like windows, trim, flooring, etc.